Hello and welcome to Business Sense. I'm your host, Ralph Rivas. Today we're going to talk about e-commerce and the pandemic. The pandemic, of course, has forced businesses to ride on the digital transformation wave to continue operations. Consumers have also gotten used to ordering online, but I'm pretty sure it's not the same as going to the store than just, clicking here and there, swiping left or right for items. So, another question in probably any business owner's mind is what's the cost and the fine print in going digital? What are the key considerations for business owners in setting up e-commerce platforms? In today's episode, I have with me Anchanto co-founder and chief operating officer Abhimanyu Kashikar on the challenges of going digital and more. Thanks so much for joining us on the show, Mr. Kashikar. So tell us a little bit about Anchanto. What do you guys do? Where are you based?
Thank you, Ralph. It's exciting to be here. Good times. We Enchanto, we currently have a regional and a global presence, I would say. We started our journey from Singapore. That's where we are headquartered and incorporated. But we are basically a global B2B product company, enabling e-commerce businesses such as brands, retailers, distributors, e-commerce enablers, service providers, and even 3PLs to manage their end-to-end digital commerce and logistics operations with our SaaS product. We have two main flagship products as such, as of now. One which is very well known in the Philippines market is called as Sell Seller, which is Anchanto OMS. It's a pretty comprehensive order management system. It helps businesses to kind of simplify and automate their back-end operations, rather the back-end e-commerce back-end operations, such as managing inventory, managing orders, pricing promotions, catalogs, and much more across multiple digital channels. We are today integrated with more than 100 players in the overall space wherever we are present. That includes the marketplaces, web stores, accounting tools, 3PLs, last mile carriers, ERPs, and you name it. The
Now,
second platform.
okay,
Yeah, sorry. The second platform that we have is also very popular in the Philippines is Vario, which is our Enchanto WMS. It's a full suite of warehouse management system for the actors that manage their e-commerce B2C or retail businesses like B2B. And it enables basically companies to transform also their existing warehouses into fulfillment centers that are equipped with receiving, processing, and fulfilling orders across multiple sources or sales channels.
Okay, so can you tell us more about e-commerce trends amid the pandemic? How are Filipinos embracing the digital transformation? And any growth figures or projections that you can share?
Oh, absolutely. I think the pandemic has had a strong impact on the Filipino businesses, and of course, everywhere else in the world. Very specifically in the Philippines, with most customers moving online to address their shopping needs. Um, of course, again, as I said, the businesses worldwide have shifted from offline to online or to online, at least in the interim, to make sure that they still run. And the Filipino businesses were no different, augmented by the factors like mobility restrictions, safety and convenience. The e-commerce basically witnessed an accelerated growth like never before, pre-pandemic days. In fact, if you see the facts in the Philippines, I would say, has the highest internet penetration in the region, with more than 73 million Filipinos are registered internet users, and they spend anywhere between 9 to 10 hours every day on internet. Now, this behavior fuels the e-commerce industry as consumers are willing to be a part of this. And this is what I see as a shift or the trend that helps moving in the e-commerce space. But the road, if you see, to the digital transformation is not simple or was not simple. It is still not that easy for a lot of businesses, I would say. Prior to pandemic, some of the statistics that I have is shows that 2% of the Filipino netizens were purchasing products online, compared to 10% of the Thais or 5% of the Singaporeans and Indonesians. That's a very, very big difference compared to other countries in the same region. But once this new normal was presented itself, Filipino businesses established themselves in the online sphere, and they also did very fast. Lot of uh, e-commerce stores emerged during this last 1.5 years. Big businesses doubled their efforts in the e-commerce initiatives, and lot of businesses or entities upgraded also their systems and processes to better serve the customers and the online community. In fact, if you see in 2015, the sales turnover in the e-commerce industry in Philippines was $500 million, while today now it is seen to top at least $12 billion by 2025, which is in the next few years.
Wow, that's
That's
a big
that's
jump.
the big jump. Yeah, that's the big jump that we are seeing now in Philippines.
But again, also, I want to ask, is the Philippines ready for this accelerated, very accelerated digital push? Because you mentioned Filipinos now spend 9 to 10 hours on the internet, but I see a joke right there. Maybe because internet is so slow in the Philippines, that's why we spend more time on the internet. So, what do you think are the challenges in this digital transformation?
Okay, so I think first I would say that from the consumer's point of view, the shift that I have seen is earlier, these buyers, the online buyers, they were focused very much on very specific categories, like clothing or cosmetics, for example. But with the pandemic coming in, the focus has actually widened to multiple categories, like essentials, groceries, your health supplements. So a lot of those categories which were not focused before are also now served through e-commerce, right? So what it means? It means that the businesses who were not tuned to manage the e-commerce operations, for this change, they were or they are basically going through this transformation, and they are actually still fine tuning their approach. Um, of course, there is no doubt about the future of e-commerce in the Philippines. But more specifically, speaking of the technology, at least in the last like 1.5 years, what we have done is we have supported a lot of large number of local businesses, as well. That includes SMEs, that includes big traditional legacy businesses who couldn't remain distant from the long and committed decisive efforts to establish the online presence. Now, what happens is when everyone is focused and moving towards online, there are a lot of businesses who are new into it, or they are into it, but now they want to scale up. They definitely need the technology. One. Second, it also needs some set of infrastructure support. For example, the expectations from the users who or the online buyers pre-pandemic was, if you receive an order 2 to 3 days in time after placing it, it was okay. But today, it's like required on the same day. And that also emerged some of the logistics companies to enable this particular business model of delivering within 24 hours or on the same day. So I think some of these challenges, as the businesses started seeing, and of course there are some new businesses which came in to support this. So I believe in terms of the consumer behavior, it has changed, and I believe it will continue to be like this in the foreseeable future. With businesses, they are upgrading their systems for better and efficient technology so that they can improve their execution. they can be much more efficient. They can cater to the needs and changing demand from the customers. That's pretty much I see today happening in the Filipino entrepreneurship and the businesses.
Now, I'm curious, because of the digital transformation, are businesses back to pre-pandemic levels or earning more, or are they just staying afloat?
Okay, so I think, see, there are different set of businesses. So if you very specifically see the businesses which are supporting to all these different categories which are selling online, and now additional categories being added there because of groceries and vegetables and fruits and all these multiple categories. So I believe the businesses earlier were tuned to work in a particular process, and a lot of the businesses actually were very heavy on the retail side. With the pandemic coming in the last 1.5 years, it changed completely. A lot of businesses have now moved towards online, which means that the trend which in fact I was reading one of the articles from Global Web, that the study that they conducted shows that at least 48% of the current Filipinos who are buying online, they prefer to continue to buy online even when the good old days are back after the pandemic, which means that this e-commerce space will not die, and the businesses will still flourish. And it's not only in one region, or it's not only in one part of the country, but it's going to grow in everywhere from north to south, east to west. It will grow, and that means that a lot of businesses have now appetite, or rather there is an appetite in the demand here, where these businesses can jump in. So I think this will continue, and this will definitely help for the businesses to stay in the same e-commerce space. So I don't see a shift for the businesses going back into non-e-commerce space, while they will still continue. And of course, those who continue to be in the retail, they will basically come up with this online and offline model together to support this.
Okay, now, of course, we're familiar with the Facebook Marketplace where people can just put their items out there for sale. But I'm curious, what's the difference by selling your products on social media platforms like Facebook, as compared to getting a software company to handle their shift in digital transformation? What are the key considerations? How big should your business be for you to move out of the likes of Facebook to actually hiring someone like you, for instance, to help them in doing the e-commerce?
Got it. So I think, see, the very small businesses who are doing typically like 10, 15, 20 orders per day, for them, definitely Facebook or any other e-commerce channels will do, and they will be able to support and be productive with that volume. Now, what happens is where the digital transformation or the need of technology comes in, when you want to scale up. So today, if I'm selling only on Facebook, it's okay. I am happy with 20 orders. But am I really happy with 20 orders? No. I will definitely look for multiple other options where I can get revenue from. So which means I need a system or a solution which can help me manage my inventory on all the multiple channels. This may include even a retail channel, right? Or a retail store down the line. When you're only selling on one platform, it is easy to maintain the inventory. But when you start selling on multiple channels, it means the complexity goes up. It means you need to have a better inventory management system, one. Second, when you start receiving orders from all of these different channels, you also need a better order management system. So which again means your better technology that comes into picture, which guides you in a much more efficient way, in a productive way, for managing the SLAs, for managing the commitments that you have with the buyers, with the customers. So typically where you want to see your backend operations to be improved, is where the technology is required. In fact, we have, as I mentioned, in the last 1.5 years, we enabled a lot of businesses in the Philippines and also across the region to shift into the e-commerce space, and we help them with technology. We help them with even guiding them through the processes, even sitting with them, our implementation experts and product experts sitting with them and guiding them through proper efficient processes, so that they don't spend a lot of time, a lot of money, in and a lot of efforts in not being efficient, or like missing out this rise that is coming in. So
Mm.
in my view, I think what happens is the businesses who are already doing, they definitely are looking for more scaling up their operations. That is one. That's where they need to fulfill orders, not only in one region, not only in NCR, but also across the Philippines. For that, they definitely need an additional system to manage trace. I think what is also important is having a visibility and control on their complete end-to-end process, right? For a lot of big businesses, it becomes very tough if they don't know how much time it takes to process one order for them. And if they don't know this, they don't know how many orders they can process in a day with the current staff that they have. If this information is not available to them, it becomes difficult. And then they keep on getting into the challenges of adding more and more shifts in their operations and adding more and more team members in their operations, right? So, which again, of course, they see on one side the business is going up, but then the cost is also going up. So to cater to this cost, the systems are very much required. So having a visibility and control on the complete operation processes, what is selling online, what they are selling, how they are selling, managing pricing, managing their inventory operations, managing their order operations, and cutting down their or maintaining their cost to what they are today is also very, very important. And that's where we play a major role with, be it SMEs or be it all the different businesses who are in the e-commerce as well as in the B2B space today.
Now, Mr. Kashikar, this I have to ask. There's cost when in doing the digital shift. Now, can you give us a little idea on how many percent it would take up in the capital expenditures of these businesses? And also, I want to ask, what type of people should they hire with this pandemic? These businesses, because you only take care of the software side, but of course, all the logistical side, it's still in the company, correct? So, what types of workers should they be looking for? And unfortunately, who are at risk of losing their jobs in this new, so-called new normal?
Got it. So I think I think what is important for the businesses is to see that how they want to approach this shift, right? That is one very important. Now, I will suggest that they go stepwise and not see everything and want to capture everything in one go. They should focus on step by step approach in terms of pushing maybe a limited number of SKUs first, seeing the success there, then add on more SKUs or SKUs rather, right? This way they will know that how they are performing in their operations, what is the additional cost or additional efforts that are required. Typically with the businesses who work with us, or who run on Enchanto technology, what we have seen is, um, the 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 economies, the unit economies basically for them has not changed drastically when they started using our system, but their output has increased drastically. Some of our customers have actually increase their business at least 7 to 10 times in the last 1 year from what they were before. Or in the good old days while using our system. The cost of system, of course, it depends on your overall volume. For we have different cost mechanism for the small businesses. We definitely want to support. We have actually done a small project earlier on to kind of bring on the SMEs and MSMEs on the platform so that we enable them with the technology. So that basically results in they becoming more and more efficient in their operations. So in terms of cost, I would say it will be like few pesos per order. That will be the impact for them in what I have seen so far with our other customers. But with this few pesos increase that they spend on the on per order basis, for example, this basically gets adjusted when they have the huge volume that they can actually cater to and support, right? So that's one which I see. So of course there is a technology cost, but it's not that heavy that you cannot go for it. We have supported a lot of businesses, as I said. In terms of the current team that they have, in my view, today, as I mentioned, 73 million Filipinos are online. It means pretty much all of them, they know how to use the phone. Typically, they know how to use the smartphone, and they know how to use the systems. With what I have seen, hardly 1% of our customers had to actually transition their existing staff to do something different. Now, what does it mean is there's current staff, which was already doing picking, packing, which was already doing receiving of the shipments, which was already managing the inventory. What what they had to do is to just train them on a new software which manages inventory and order, and it's very simple. It's very easily and very beautifully designed so that it makes it easy for them to use the system for any different operations. So they didn't have to actually go away with the existing staff. In fact, the productivity from the same staff has now gone up at least 3 to 4 times. So what they were used to earlier process 2,000 orders, today some of these businesses are able to process 10,000 orders monthly. So that's the shift that we were able to bring in for them. Some team members who were moved from or transitioned to um, different responsibilities while they brought in this, and which I have seen personally is less than 1%, are the ones who were not that tuned in terms of understanding the technology or the processes. Those who didn't know the process, they face those challenges. So if I'm in the warehouse and I know the process, it becomes very easy whether I have a system or I don't have a system. So that is what I see. In terms of any some of our customers also hire a temporary staff from uh, some of the agencies who offer that, or maybe some temporary staff coming in from some schools and on a temporary basis, like kind of internship, who basically help them to identify some very insightful data from the system, not only to do heavy lifting in the warehouse, but also to infer some information. So this basically helps them to kind of improve on and on their overall operational processes. So in my view, the current staff, if any of the businesses have their current staff, I have not seen our customers when they transition to our system, they had to change anything.
Mm. Now, finally, before I let you go, any tips, leadership style? Do leaders have to shift their style in this so-called new normal? And for workers, any advice on how? Because the pandemic is unfortunately not going away soon. I mean, in the Philippines, it's bad. You're in India, it's also bad out there. So, any tips on how we just, get through this pandemic?
Very tough, yeah. And I think it will be there for another some time. Um, I think more from the businesses or leaders, I would say that it's very, very important to support the staff, and that's what we also have done at Enchanto, where we supported staff in tough times. Early
Like
days of pandemic. Sorry, Ralph.
what type of support?
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Yes.
Uh,
So I think early days of pandemic was very easy because everyone started liking working from home, right? Which was not the case before. But then slowly they started realizing that they are spending a lot of time at home, and they're working all alone. So what happens is they need to have a very decent atmosphere. They need to have all those facilities. So be it a good system, be it a good monitor, be it a good desk, be it a good chair, um, uh, for them to be productive. Right. This I'm talking for the staff who typically works in the office. So it we basically supported them in terms of ensuring that they have all the facilities for them to be very, very efficient in terms of working on the system, on the laptops or the computers. Second, we also started. We arranged some online programs or online events for them to make sure that we are still seeing each other, because everyone working from home, just taking calls, or working completely in isolation and doing their own job. I think this actually also, after a while, of course, initially you enjoy, but after a while, it starts impacting you mentally. So when I say mentally, in the sense that you feel stressed after a while. So for that, we have supported team members with some events that we organized online. Whenever there were relaxation from the lockdowns or from the MCQs, we actually met them in a, of course, within the guidelines. We met and spent like lunch, dinner. So we spent good amount of time with them. We also started seeing that it is also important when some of the team members are going through some tough times at home because of whatever reasons, be it because of the pandemic or any other challenges they are facing. We have even supported them by by taking care of their work and sharing it across the different team members, so that the individual focuses purely on their own activities, making sure that they are safe, secured, they're back in good health, and then they start focusing on it. From the
mm,
execution point of view, what we have done is, of course, we have added more team members because we started seeing that we want to now then work on something new, which we were not able to spend time before. So we came up with certain new product ideas, and where we started spending time in terms of also involving existing team members to brainstorm. So which makes sure that at least they feel that they are a part of the organization. They are still being heard. They are still seeing people and have a say there. So we did a lot of these online sessions to involve the team members, to make sure that whatever the new product development that we want to bring in, they are involved, and they know that what in which direction we are going as a company.
mm,
In some cases, what I have seen is, like with some of our other customers, I think those who were managing warehouses, or they had team members who have to be or must be there in the warehouse to manage all these operations for essentials and other categories. They have supported them with providing the shelter and basically a place to, and a hygienic place to for them to stay nearby, so that their commute is less, or maybe within the same facility, so that they are not exposed to the virus outside. They are safe, secure, and then of course that also means that their family is also satisfied that yes, if my son or whoever from my family is outside working for an organization is being taken care of. So we have also seen some of our customers doing that. Some
Mhm.
customers, what they have done is of course, I mean, in terms of in terms of upscaling their staff, were also offered, and this is something which we have also done, where we upskilled our team members, because of this, when the team member is working from home, then they can spend some additional time in upskilling. So we actually offered them some additional courses where they can learn and still stay in the game. So these are some of the things which we have done to make sure that the staff or our team members are still being productive and focused at work, while they are also taken care of, some of the nitty-gritties are taken care by the company.
Mm. Indeed, lots of challenges amid the pandemic, but there are also opportunities. We just really got to work hard for them, and just try to be healthy. And with that, thanks so much for your time, Anchanto co-founder and COO Abhimanyu Kashikar. This has been another episode of Business Sense. I am Ralph Rivas. Keep it right here because tomorrow we also have another episode. We will talk about our REITs. So, again, thanks so much for your time and
Thank you.
stay safe.
Thank you, Ralph. Take care.